Like this, like that. Yeah, like this, like that. Everybody tryna be like me. Tryna take my juice, tryna take my steez. Everywhere I go, I'ma stay in my Q's and P's. Everybody tryna be just like me. Chop on my side and I might let it sing. Whoa.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about the Chicago Bulls signing Stanley Johnson, Alize Johnson. I hope that's how you spell his name. Matt Thomas. So let me get straight into the video. And let me first talk about Stanley Johnson. I haven't really watched Stanley Johnson highlights, but once the Bulls got him, I started watching him. I started hearing what other people said about him. He was drafted by the Detroit Pistons with the 8th overall pick in one of the draft classes from a few years back. Very hyped out of high school, the number 3 recruit. I think a lot of people think he was a wasted pick for the Detroit Pistons, and he has no offensive game whatsoever. He did improve his shooting to like 33% last season, but Stanley Johnson still is not what he's supposed to be, and I don't think what he was supposed to be or what he was hyped up to be as, and I don't think he will ever be able to reach that milestone. But that also puts chips on their shoulders, and it also comes with the Bulls' reoccurring theme. But let me just tell you guys how, when I heard Stanley Johnson before, I researched him, looked him up. Stanley Johnson, when I first thought of him first of all, I didn't even know he was a free agent, but when I first thought of him, I would think that's the guy who dropped 35 points on the Bulls, his career high. That's the guy who Kobe White dunked on in that one moment last year. And then I think that's a guy who can play good hustle defense. And that's all I pretty much thought of him. I didn't think of him as anything else. I just thought of him as a good hustle player and the guy that got dunked on by Kobe White. But all jokes aside, Stanley Johnson is a decent player. He's not great. He's not bad. But last year he averaged about 4 points per game, and on 16 minutes, and shot like 30-something% from the field, 33% from 3. For his career, he's shooting like in the 20s from deep, so that's very frightening. But I think the Bulls brought him in for his hustle defense. And I also don't see Stanley Johnson as a power forward. I see him more as a small forward. So I don't really see the fit. I would have rather them gone after what's his name? DeMarcus Cousins. He would bring energy to the team. He would be a really good backup center or backup power forward, whatever they would want to put him as, and the Bulls would just be taking a chance on him. And some players need that chance, need a chance to be able to shine, be that backup guy, kind of like how D Rose did after his injury. And let me get into the next signing, and that was Alize Johnson. I hope that's his name. I don't want to be disrespecting anyone here. He's a Chicago Bulls player. So he's a Chicago Bulls player now, so I have to know his name, just like I know Larry Markkanen's name, and just like I know Giannis's name, I have to know how to pronounce his too. But I don't really. It's not the greatest signing in my opinion. He is 6'7". I would rather the Bulls gone after like a 6'9" or someone big, a big body who can intimidate, like DeMarcus Cousins or like some other guys that were still on the board. Jared Vanderbilt was also an option. I would have rather them gone after one of those guys, but Alize Johnson is still a decent fit. He was a second round pick. A few years back, he played for the Nets. He only played 40 something games in his career, so that's a little bit frightening. But I think he's coming into the season also with a chip on his shoulder, and that's the lasting theme with the Bulls. Zach LaVine, the media, ESPN, he's a loser. DeMar DeRozan, ESPN, he's overpaid. You have Nikola Vucevic, he's a subpar all-star. You have Patrick Williams, nobody cares about him, he's a bust. That's how ESPN thinks. Lonzo Ball, he's never going to be an all-star. He's never going to meet the hype that he was coming out of college, coming out of high school, at Chino Hills or at UCLA. That's what the media believes these players are. So I think it's a good signing because of the everlasting theme of the Bulls. They have chips on their shoulders, and the whole team has a chip on their shoulders. And then on top of that, I would also think that he's still a decent power forward. He played with the Brooklyn Nets last season, averaged about 5 points. Not that many minutes, limited minutes, but he still averaged 5 points per game, which is pretty good. And that's all the Bulls need him to do. They don't need him to score a whole lot of points. They just need him there for defense and just for some backup minutes at the 4. And I think he will be getting a lot of backup minutes at the 4 because I don't think Patrick Williams will be playing 38 minutes, 40 minutes a game. And I think there will still be like a lot of room in the rotation for Alize. And then the last topic I'm going to talk about is Matt Thomas. He is a sharpshooter. He's on the Toronto Raptors, I think. Let me fact check that so I'm not saying anything wrong. Yes, Matt Thomas was on the Toronto Raptors and on the Utah Jazz, but he's a sharpshooter from the Toronto and Utah Jazz. I think the Bulls just brought him in for floor spacing. He's on a 2-way deal, I think. So I don't really see that as a really impactful signing for the Bulls. But thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell button. You can hit me up on Twitter, on Instagram, DM me. You can talk to me about anything. You might even be featured on the channel if you would just hit me up. Link in the description to all of my social media accounts. But thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to go check out my bold predictions video. You should see it towards the left or on the right of your screen. But be sure to check out my predictions video. And on top of that, be sure to check out my Ben Simmons video that I posted. But thank you guys for watching this video.